Welcome to one more lesson. This lesson is about method debugging and field change. Before we move on, please make sure that you're subscribing to our YouTube channel, like this video, follow our social media, Instagram, and let's move. Our agenda for today is to talk about the debugging, obviously. More specific, we're going to debug method calls and change field values. I have here a simple project which just contains two classes, the main one and tool class. Tool class is a class that contains two methods. The first one is product, which finds products between the two numbers, number 1 and number 2. It prints out that will find the product between number 1 and number 2, then return the value. Next we have the square method, which takes one number and returns the value raised to the second power. Here we have an instance of that class tool and a variable that is going to reserve the value of product and square, which is equal to the square of the product. And here we have 3 and 5. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. 15 to the second power is 255. Then we print that value to our console. Okay. Here we have two method calls. We write tool.square. Inside of the tool.square, we pass one result, and this result is the returned value from the tool.product, which is the product between 3 and 5. When the JVM will run this code, the first method to be called is going to be this inner one, product, then the square. This is how the Java program runs. Let's put here the breakpoint and debug. I want to take you step by step of this execution. We want step over because we know that everything is going to be executed, and then we're going to simply stop here on line 8. Let's step into. We have two possibilities, or we go directly to the square or we go to product. But if we go to the square, the tool.product call is going to be executed, and we want to see what's going to happen there. Let's click on tool.product, the inner one. Here we have two parameters, num1 is 3, num2 is 5. We don't have field in this class. Okay, we have two parameters, number 1 and number 2. Then what we can do is simply step over this printed statement. Okay, we want to step over, and here we have return num1, that num2 is going to be the next statement. Then we can step into or step over. We come here, back and stop. Let's do something again. Step into. Do you see what happened? It didn't ask me for which method I wanted to step into, because it knows that the next method to be called is the square one, because it's the unique one that remains. So the first method called was product. Now we can track what's going on the square method. Okay, it's receiving the value num1 times num2. Is it correct? 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Yes, so for now it's okay. Then it's going to print I will square num1, but until now it hasn't printed. Let's step into. Okay, it has already been printed. Num1 times num1. Okay, num1 is 15. And here you can see also. Let's simply step into or step over. Choose what you want. Okay, and let's execute one more time. Product and square is 225. Okay, 225 is the square root of 15, so 15 raised to the second power is 225. Here we have 225, so you can see what's going on each step. Let's step into, and our program is over. Right, now let's change the values and see the responses of our program. Debugging allows us to change variables also. That's some feature really cool for us because we can see the effects of the changes of variables while we execute our program. Let's step into this one product, and rather than having number 1 as 3, let's change it to another value. All you have to do is right click and set value. Let's now put 6 and 2. Let's change it to what? Let's change it to, we can change it to 7. Okay, the product between these two values is 42. Okay, did you see what happened? We've passed 3 and 5, but now we're working with 6 and 7. What happens is that our program is going to continue with the execution using the values that we have set. And here we have num1 is 42 right now. What is getting in this square method, which is the result of num1 times num2. Now we can change 42 to any other value, but let's leave. Step 2, we have the result is the result of the square of 42. Here is how you can change the values, and you can debug calls of methods inside another one. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us.